lovelies, Vlogmas 24, and in today's video we are wrapping our samosas and spring rolls. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, you are very welcome. Please do well to like, comment and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much for stopping by. Like I said, in today's video we are making samosas and spring roll wraps. Okay, so like there's a measurement to go with this. I have the mixture already on my channel, but for those of you that are asking, oh, I want to make a smaller quantity, what should I do, how many cups of flour, this, that. Okay, the trick is this: when you're making like 2 cups of flour, the quantity of corn flour should be 1.5. Okay, if you're making 2 cups, the quantity of the corn flour should be 1 cup. That's to say half of whatever you're using for your flour. If you're making 5 cups of flour, the corn flour should be 2.5 cup. If you're making 1 cup of flour, the corn flour should be half a cup. So I think that explains it better. Okay, so in this video I'm making 3 cups because what I actually need for my samosa and spring roll is 30 pieces of samosas and 30 pieces of spring rolls, and this measurement gives me the exact quantity and maybe 3 to 4 pieces extra. So I added 3 cups of all-purpose flour. I added 1.5 cup of corn flour. I added 2 tablespoons of sugar and just 1 teaspoon of salt. Okay, sugar and salt is just for taste, but you can omit the sugar and just do only salt, but I like the combination. So what you want to do is to mix your dry ingredients and start adding water. When it comes to adding water, I have a video where I made a specific measurement, but in this video I'm just going to add because I already know the quantity I'll be needing. So this just watch and you see how the consistency came out and you understand what I mean. And for those of you that are always asking me on my comment section if it's compulsory to use corn flour, for this particular method it's 100% compulsory because this is like the liquid method. For the dough method, all you will need is all-purpose flour and salt and maybe a drop of vegetable oil. But for this method, like I said earlier, you will need cornstarch just to get it crunchy and come together. So the next thing you want to do is to make sure you mix properly. There won't be any lumps. You don't need any lumps in there. So mix until you get a very creamy and smooth consistency. And you don't want it to be too thick, neither do you want it to be too light. So watch the consistency because that's exactly what you will need. And once you are done with that, you want to go ahead and pan fry. We'll get to that. Okay, for now let's keep mixing to get this well incorporated. So all you need to do in this, just watch the consistency. If it's too watery, you will need to add a mixture. That is why I always have my small chops wraps mixture. Okay, because if it's too watery, you won't want to add all-purpose flour alone. You want to add your mixture of cornstarch and all-purpose flour. So if it's too watery, the best thing to do is to add half cup of all-purpose flour and a 1/4 cup of corn flour. That will still give you the ratio that you need. Okay, so that should be aside for when it's too watery, but if you get the right consistency, perfect, go ahead and do the mixing. Make sure there's no lumps. It's very well creamy, and that's all for now. So now our mixture is ready. For the brush, I use this pastry brush. You want to get this brush. Don't get the normal painting brush. That one always peel. It always pull off. Okay, so get this particular brush, and you can see I'm doing the testing. If it stays on your brush, fine, it's perfect. But if it start dropping and all of that, you still need to add a bit of mixture. And if it's too thick, add a bit of water. So now there's another one. Now we are going to add to our pan. A lot of people have been asking me, did you grease your pan? What did you add to your pan? I don't do anything to my pan. I use a non-stick pan. The name non-stick simply means it won't stick to the pan. If you use an aluminum pan, you are going to get a different result. Using a non-stick pan, you don't need to grease or put any oil on it. Just go ahead and spread out your mixture there using the format I use. So I'm going to show you how I make this thing easy. I have done this before in my previous videos, but because I have new family members who will still like to get to know this, so I'm remaking it. So please don't feel bored, just help me to watch, enjoy and learn. Okay, so you can see the way I'm spreading it. I'm not doing it like a straight line. I'm trying to make it a circle. This is because if you make it a straight line, there's a possibility for it to tear when you're wrapping. But when you make it like a circle, you're crossing it, it creates like a basket kind of stuff, like you're crossing the whole thing, so there's no way it will tear. Okay, so for those of you that says it's tear, please, it shouldn't. And another thing is, you want to control your heat. The reason is because as I am spreading, anyone I bring out, I don't store it. I don't keep it to start wrapping later. I wrap immediately. I'm going to do the both session. Like as this one is drying up, I'm wrapping the other one. And you want this to dry very well, because if it doesn't, it's going to melt after you have added your filling. Okay, so give it time to actually dry. You want to control your heat in the essence that you need to know the heat you can control, because as you are wrapping, this one is getting done. If your heat is too high and you are not fast enough, it's going to burn. So you want to start with a low and see how fast you can be before you increase your heat. But still, you want it to dry. Make sure it's dried. You don't need to even turn it, like flip it over. When it's dry, you will see it just the way it is now. It will change color and you won't see any moist in it anymore. So this is like the simplest way to make your wraps, though a lot of people have trouble using this method. But for a fast and easygoing wraps, I use this method. This method will prevent you from making your wraps now and then adding fillings later. The same time you are standing making your wraps, you can be making, like, wrapping immediately. So that's why I love this method. Like I said, I'm going to show you how I navigate these two steps now. So guys, that's basically how I maintain the timing and just do everything at a time. So now let me show you, those of you that don't know how to wrap your spring rolls, it's very, very simple. I don't know why everybody says it's the simplest, but samosa is it for me. Okay, so you want to lay that wrap you have made. Like I said, I'm using the pan that is just the exact size. If you want to end up cutting it in those cuts that will give you maybe 3 or 4 pieces, you can go ahead and use a very large pan. I'm using this small pan because going ahead to start cutting is another waste of time. So I just do one wrap for one spring rolls or samosa. That's how I do mine. And the shape doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a perfectly round one. As you can see, the shape is crooked, but it comes together when you are wrapping. So this is basically how you wrap your spring roll. Put your filling in the edge of one side, wrap, fold in, wrap, and put the closing, which is just flour and water. But I do use the mixture I use for my wraps, but you can just do just flour and water. All you need to do is to make a paste and just use it to do your sealing. Okay, just seal up your wrap with that. So this is me continuously doing it for you guys to see and understand how it's done. So guys, now that we are done with our spring rolls, let's move ahead and make samosas. Same wrap I use for my spring roll is what I use for my samosas. So you want to go through same process. All you need to do is to take your chicken or beef filling, put it in the middle of this round shape and fold like so. You want to fold one side in, the other side in, just to create a triangle shape, and then you wrap it all up. This is how I do my own samosa. There's a lot of ways, like I said. This one might work for you, it might not work for you, but if you have ever tried it, if you have seen it on my channel and you have tried it and it worked for you, I know you are enjoying yourself, because this is the simplest way you can ever think of. With this pattern, you can make 200 pieces without even knowing. You can make 500 pieces without knowing. So into my own opinion, this is the best way. But yeah, try other ways. You never can tell. Other ways might be simple for you or come easy for you. Like I said, it's my choice, and a lot of people have tried using this pattern and it works perfectly for them. So for the trick with the samosa or even with the spring roll one is, you want to make sure your table or your whatever platform you are using is well floored. Like, add a lot of flour to it just so it doesn't stick. If it stick, it will tear. So make sure there is a lot of dry flour. Add flour at interval. Like when you notice it's getting moist, remember this came out from the fire, like it's still very open to being moist with the heat. So if your table is not well floured, it's going to open or break. So go ahead and add a lot of flour to your table and continue doing what you're doing, guys. It's so simple. Yeah, I understand a lot of people go through challenges trying to master all of this. Yes, practice, they say, make perfect. So go ahead and practice at your free time. You don't need to wait for client to order or for you to have events before you practice. If this is what you want to do, go ahead and practice on your own. Practice and let your family eat it. Practice and let it just be there. Use it for practice and you will get what you want. When the order finally comes in, you'll be able to satisfy all your customers. You can go ahead and try this with paper. I have done that tutorial on my channel as well. You can just go to my playlist and check for small chops in Nigeria or whatever. So go there and check for the playlist. You will see a lot of videos on this particular stuff I'm doing. So leaving it like this, you are not doing anything wrong. Like, everything is going to come out perfect. So I'm actually making this at night because I'll be needing it the next morning, and all I did was put it on my tabletop. I didn't put it in the fridge because of course I'm using it the next morning and there wasn't no electricity to freeze it immediately. So I'm actually saying this because some people will put it on a fridge that is not working, like there's no electricity in your area and you are putting small chops in the fridge. What more do you expect? It's going to melt. I have had that complaint even in my comment section where somebody is saying my small chops melt. So please don't put it in your fridge if your fridge is not frozen. If you don't have constant lights, you can't put small chops in your fridge. Go to supermarket that sells small chops. You see that the fridge they put it is always frozen. It's always with ice. So please don't put it in your normal fridge or a freezer that does not have electricity going on. So put it where it has to be frozen in seconds or minutes. Okay, so that is that for it getting melt. That is your error. Correct it and you get a good result. So I am not putting this in the fridge because we don't have electricity and my fridge is not even frozen at all. So I'm going to leave it on the tray in my kitchen counter, and in the morning I'll fry it and it's still going to be the same thing. Like nothing will happen. Here is another reason your chops must be melting is if your filling has any moisture in it. Okay, after making your spring rolls, if there is any moisture, like when I was making my spring rolls filling, I mentioned that I am not overcooking my cabbage because I don't want it to have any moisture in it. Okay, so don't overcook your cabbage, and if you end up doing that and your cabbage develops some water, go ahead and strain it. Put it on your sieve. Leave it there for hours so that it will be completely dry. Please, if you use a moist filling, your spring roll is going to soak. You can't add water to flour and expect it to be the same dry. No, it's going to melt. If you notice, when I was making my samosa filling, I didn't add any oil. I didn't add anything moisture. Instead, I added my blended chicken to the pan and I allowed it. To dry. I was stirring continuously because the plan is to make it dry, not to have any mixture. As you can see, this is the filling, and as you can see, there is no mixture in it, so there's no way this will melt. Instead, it's going to get dried, and when you fry it, it's going to come out perfect. So just make sure your filling is on the right consistency. This is all I got: 34 samosas and 34 spring rolls. And yeah, this is what I needed for my order. This is the next morning. I have gone ahead to fry all of my chops, my puff puff, my chicken and everything, and as you can see, it came out perfect and crunchy. So let me know in the comment section if this video was helpful. Like I said, I need you all to always comment on my videos, like and share. That will help my channel a lot. Thank you and see you tomorrow. Have a blessed day. Bye bye.